Howdy folks, my name is Lance 90 and welcome back to Let's Play, or Let's Tutorial series of Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead version point F. So, as I said in the last video, we're finally ready to start some gameplay. Finally, we can finally play the game. But no. Anyway. So, we've already done some of the basics. We've built a cudgel, which is a pretty good weapon for us. We've bashed up some benches in here, which we're going to need that from some stuff. We have some sheets ready to go here and some long string. Let's go ahead and get our first basic tool. Let's get to a normal zoom level here. We have a basic tool right here. And pick up that rock. So the rock, level 1 hammering quality. That's why we need the rock. And that's it. And gonna smash a few more of these. Just like that. We'll go ahead and use our advanced inventory sorts. It's above us now. So yeah, remember it's not always gonna be in the 9 slot now. Now we're under it, so you gotta remember that we're 5. So yes, it's in the 8 slot is where we want to move this stuff to. I'm gonna press comma. Let's friggin' send it. So that's all in that one pile. Let's zoom back in again, actually. Is this the default? This might be the default zoom now, actually. I don't know. So here we have some lockers. Let's see what we've got in here. Folded emergency blankets. We can activate this to unfold it into a full blanket. Might be useful. Might need it for bed. Emergency jacket. This would give us, because we're not wearing a jacket anymore, right? Used to start with a winter coat, and then they brought it down to jacket. Now it looks like you only start with a long sleeve shirt and a messenger bag. You also used to not start with a bag. But so we could put this on. Torso and arms, outer layer, 25 warmth. That's actually a lot of warmth. Give us a little bit of protection. Coverage, I don't think we want it. There are some protein rations here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick those up actually, because they'll be useful. And a bunch of plastic forks and spoons and knives that aren't really worth anything to us. There's also a FEMA evacuation pamphlet. So let's pick that up. You can read it from just there if you want, but we're gonna pick it up and look at it. Welcome to your emergency survival shelter. You hope you found your stay here will be short and comfortable. Provided are an emergency blanket, high visibility jacket, gas masks, food and water rations for 1 day, as well as an emergency lighter and flashlight. There are further supplies in the communal cabinets should the facility be over its intended capacity. These resources are checked and updated by FEMA on a regular basis, but if you find some items missing, please contact a FEMA supervisor at your earliest convenience. Please wait until the shelter until official evacuation transport arrives to take you to your homes, or in the event of major disaster to the nearest evacuation gathering point. In the event that you've been evacuated under violent circumstances, FEMA recommends taking cover in the shelter's basement until help arrives. Remember, if you leave the shelter, we cannot find you to take you to safety. It doesn't do anything, but that is some lore for you. Let's see what's in these cabinets over here. 21 protein rations. So there's wrappers and then a greater than sign protein ration. This means it's a wrapper with a protein ration in it. Used to just say protein rations, and then like it'd be in a plastic wrapper, and then when you consume it, it would create a wrapper, but that's how they sort that now. Let's see, there's a large fire extinguisher. Don't really need it. 2-ray radio, I'll pick it up. Don't really need it, but I like to have it around. A couple of disposable batteries, that's pretty good. And a couple of first aid boxes. Again, same thing. First aid box that has 9 items in it. There's 2 of them. Go ahead and grab those. Don't really need the fire extinguisher. We're a pyromaniac after all. Let's see what is in these cabinets. 23 more protein rations. We can't even carry it. Let's see. This is where our computer is, though. So this is going to kind of be our HQ right here. I'm going to drop. I'm in the drop menu again. As you can see, it's a lot more full now. Now, they've made this a little bit more confusing than it used to be. You can see that we have a bunch of protein ration 1s here. We don't want to mess with these or the clean water. These are the contents that are inside the wrappers. We want to move the wrappers. So we'll select the wrappers, and then once those get dropped, these will fall off automatically. I don't need to carry the water around with me. Let's see. I'm going to put the same with the medical stuff. This is all inside of stuff. They're inside the first aid kits. So we're going to move those. You might be wondering, well, how can I tell? It has a little arrow next to what it's contained in. So some of these say that they're inside these bottles, and then the bottles are inside the first aid kits, and then some are just straight in the first aid kits. I don't like this new sorting style. It's annoying. It should just, it's not how it used to be. It used to be just whatever. The first aid kits, at first it was just an item. You just use it and it was like a health potion pretty much. And you could disassemble it to get the stuff that's inside of it out. Now the first aid kit doesn't do anything itself. It's just a container. And then you have to open it up, take the stuff out, and use it. But it's just annoying that it takes up so much more room in your inventory, because your inventory is already going to be really full of stuff. And you can see now our inventory is like basically empty because it wasn't nearly as much in there as it seemed like. We're going to put down the rock. We'll put down the two-way radio. I'm going to put down the batteries. Seeing what some of these other things are. Don't need this pamphlet, but I'm going to get it out of this cabinet because we might want this cabinet. Just going to drop it in there. Here, 23 more protein rations. Drop those. You can see it's kind of lagged there for a second. That was it dropping each item individually. More things you put down at once, the longer it takes. We're actually getting cold, and that's one of the first things we're going to have to deal with here soon. Our hands are chilly, and that's because we're wielding a... Well, actually... No, we just actually have to deal with this now. It used to be that when you're wearing a winter coat, if you didn't have anything in your hands, your character would use the pockets to keep his hands warm automatically. You wouldn't have to do anything. But now that we're wielding a cudgel, his hands would be out. But now we're not even wearing a winter coat, so we don't even have pockets to put our hands in, really. So that's why our character is getting cold. We have a flashlight. That'll be helpful. You have a lighter. Pretty useful. Whistle, Jacket, not really. Water's useful. Protein wrappers are useful. FEMA pamphlet is nuts. Another flashlight, another lighter. Protein rations. Disposable battery. Now the Tupperware is different. It has a containing quality, so I am going to grab that. Because we're going to need that to process water and stuff. Again, I'm going to put down my food and water. I try to keep it all together too. And then this other pile is kind of like my tools pile. So I'm going to put the Tupperware and disposable battery there. I'm going to drop both lighters. I don't need both of them. I'm going to drop one flashlight. So to do that, if I do the arrow key, it just puts a plus next to the flashlights. It's going to drop all of them. If I want to keep one of them, I can press the number 1 and then press the right arrow key on it. And then it's only going to drop 1. It puts a little hashtag instead. So now I still have a flashlight. It actually doesn't have batteries though. Neither one do actually. So let's use our reload screen. So I'm going to press R to reload. I'm going to select flashlight and I'm going to select battery. There we go. The store is locked. We might be able to bash it down, but I think it just goes to the roof. There might be something on the roof. We can check that out. But what I'm going to do before I go downstairs, even though we went downstairs earlier to demonstrate controls, we're going to go ahead and activate my flashlight because there could be bad things downstairs. I don't think there's bad stuff in the basements of evac shelters anymore, but there used to be a chance of that happening. And what it would say, just in case it is still a thing, is it would say there's a steep drop halfway down. Do you want to go down? That's a sign that you don't want to go down. That means like there's either ants burrowed down there or like a giant mole rat or something is down there. But we're not getting that message here, so we're safe. And start looking around. So now we're underground. See our mini map very small now. It's only showing this one room because that's all we know is here. That's all we can see. If we bring up our main map again, we're in a different layer now. Now we're in like the underground map. And you can see this is the only thing we know about underground. Let's just walk into a door to open it up. And this is a bathroom. We want the plastic bottle. And protein rations. Inside of the sink, we have soap bars. Soap bars can be useful. They're for cleaning dirty clothes, which we'll want to do because we can't wear dirty clothes, remember? We'll want to do that, and then we'll also want to be able to cut stuff up and turn it into new clothes, and you have to wash it before you do that, or the new clothes will be dirty too. Paper is used for some stuff, so I'll grab it. Bleach, we can carry it, so I am going to grab it. We might not use the bleach anytime soon itself, but gallon jugs are super, super useful for processing water and making drinks. Then up at the top here, we have a scrub brush. We can combine this with a washboard to make a better washboard for our soap. And we're also going to take the paper hand mirrors, just like a decorative object. And you can also see there's water in these toilets. We press E next to a toilet, and you'll see what to do with the 24 water in the toilet. It's going to give us the option to consume it, pour it into a container, or pour it on the ground. We do not want to drink toilet water. Toilet water is dirty, which will get us sick and make us vomit. If not, actually give us like a disease or something. So we're not going to mess with it. We're just going to press escape to get out of there and not drink it. Step out in this. It's like a big wrapping room. It's like nothing is in here. Yep. Nothing in here. Bunch of benches, though, if we need to bash down some benches. Our character actually isn't cold anymore. The temperature is more stable in the basement. However, we don't really want to live in the basements. There's a few reasons for that. The main one, though, is that you cannot take a shopping cart down the stairs, at least not yet. And that's just really annoying, because we're going to use the shopping cart to carry tons and tons and tons of stuff. We don't want to do trips up and down the staircase getting everything out of the shopping cart. It's just too annoying. Which is why I was telling you about the LMOE shelter in the scenarios starts. Which is why it's like actually not quite as good as you would think it is. So let's also turn off our flashlights. Let's press A to activate and then select the flashlight. You can see that it's on right now because it says on, but also is it highlighted in yellow. Just going to press enter on it and turn it off. You can see the lighting changed a little bit. And let's go drop this in our tools and stuff. Plastic bottle, paper, soap, gallon jug. Not the bleach separately, though. Protein rations, scrub brush. Just drop that all there. We'll deal with it later. Let's deal with the fact that our character is cold. So, it wasn't letting us butcher the sheets, but we really want to butcher the sheets because taking an hour to disassemble it is a little insane. May have to do it though. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press let's just grab it. Let's just grab one sheet by pressing 1 and then the arrow. You can do it on this menu too. And I'm gonna drop the sheet over here. It's gonna be by itself now. Sometimes this changes how things work. Now I'm gonna try to butcher it by pressing Shift B. And yes, you can see now there's the option to cut up the sheet. That only takes 2 seconds. That's what we want to do. Not nearly as many rags. Actually, like way, way, way less. They must have nerfed this. It's used to give you like 20 rags or something. Fortunately, it only gave us 9, but it's a start. But yeah, we want to do that because that's 2 seconds, not an hour. It's just absurd. Just gonna put it there for now. We're eventually gonna do some more separation of our things, but it's a little early for that. Sheets, drop. And I'm just gonna tear down all the curtains. The only curtains I might not tear down are the ones facing the town, because zombies might wander up and attack us if they can see through those things. But anyone's on the ones on the side, I'm not too worried about. Pick up these sheets. Oops, I tried to do one. Let's see. At least I can do each one separately now, yeah. It's just the fact that it's with... Oh, nope, it still only cut up one, actually. That cut up both. Some more rags over there. I don't know why some of the rags are... Oh, it's because it's in different pockets now. So you see there's 9 rags and it's getting split into 6 and 3 rags. It's because some of it's getting put in the messenger bag and some of it's getting put in our jeans. I think it goes... Stuff goes into whatever container has the quickest access speed, which is the pockets of our jeans, because, you know, just pull your phone in and out, basically. Messenger bag, though, he has to, like, open it and unzip it and everything. That's what that That's what prioritizes that. All right. See if that's enough rags. I'm going to grab this long string, drop it, and do the same thing. Okay, this is going to be a disassembly. I did it really quick, so I wasn't paying attention. But it's not as complicated as the sheet. It's only going to take 30 seconds. So it's going to make 6 long strings, and this one is actually a little bit more of a complicated work. So it's saying what to do with the in progress disassembly of string. Basically, our character needs a work surface to do this, and he doesn't have like a dedicated desk right now or anything. So our options are to dispose my wielded cudgel and start working. This is basically we drop our cudgel on the ground and we just do it in our hands. We can put it down and start working, which I think is like we use the floor as our workstation. Store it in our inventory, just puts it in our inventory and we don't do anything. Drop it on the ground, just puts it on the ground and not do anything. It's going to say that it's a disassembly of a long string because 0%. It's not going to turn it into small strings if we do either of those. I'm going to put it down and start working. There's our short strings. That's not what we want though. We need thread. So what we're going to do, it's going to take a little while. I can either disassemble each string one by one, or I can disassemble all 6 short strings at once, and it's going to take 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice the time. It's going to ask us for each one, unfortunately. There you go, 300 thread. Now, we need a needle for our thread. We're going to come over to this pile because it has splintered wood in it. We're going to press Shift 7, our and symbol. We are going to go over to other, and we're going to craft a wooden needle. This is going to use a splintered wood. It's going to use our pocket knife as a cutting tool. It's going to take a while because we don't have the carving proficiency yet, but it's fine. And it's going to create a tool that has a level 1 sewing quality to it. Then start working. There's our wooden needle. As you can see, it has 0 of 200 charges of thread. So we're going to pick it up. We're going to reload it. It's going to automatically use thread because it's the only thing that can go in it. Now we have 100 thread in our inventory, and then we also have I guess it dropped it for some reason. But now we have a wooden needle with 200 thread. Awesome. We're going to drop this thread into the cabinet, but we're going to keep the wooden needle in our inventory because it makes it a little bit easier to activate. Now, we're going to go to Shift 7 again, and we're going to tab over to armor. We're going to arrow over to hands. We're going to make, man, we can't build. What do we need for light gloves? We need cotton sheets and patchwork cotton clothing parts. So they recently made clothing harder to make. It used to be rags made everything. Now there's these like cotton sheets and stuff and clothing parts apparently. So let's see. Let's go find out what it takes to build cotton sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press F. I'm going to type cotton. You can make a cotton hat for free. You might actually want to do that because I think our head's cold. Cotton sheets. We need a frame loom and a wooden shed stick. So yeah, we have to make a full-on loom to make that, which we prefer not to. Go back to our hands. Like before, we'd be able to just build it right now and be good, which is kind of stinky because our hands are going to freeze. Man, 4 hours, dude, is friggin' insane. They really nerfed tailoring. Tailoring used to be such a good skill. It's still like critically important, so it kind of sucks that this is going to take so long. I actually have trouble. I think the last time I played, stuff did take cotton sheets and stuff, but some of this basic stuff like glove liners and stuff didn't. So now it's like actually, ooh. Oh, that's the light gloves that need 88. What about patchwork? What's that take? Fun clothing parts. 4 hours. My God. That is so long. It makes 4, I guess. Hands are gonna freeze, man. Okay, so here's my plan. What on our body is cold right now? Nothing, apparently, but that's not true. We're gonna get cold again shortly, especially if we go outside. Actually, it's warmer outside. Oh, I would consider that new too. Should be warmer inside than outside, but okay. Maybe it's because that fire was nearby. Let's check out this side, maybe. It's just warmer outside. Interesting. It gives you shade, but it's not like it's summertime yet. It's still cold. That's new. All right, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go find this emergency jacket. It's just, does it say? Let's look through the options here. Has a hood to keep your head warm if your head is unencumbered. So that means if we're not wearing any hat, it'll use the hood. But if we put a hat on, it will not use the hood anymore. Worn over, it has pockets to warm your hands when you're not wielding anything. That's what we need. I don't like not wielding my tool or my weapon, but because of the changes they've made, I kind of have to now. We're gonna wear the emergency jacket of all things. Ew, I don't like it. Let's go ahead and eat. So I'm gonna do Shift E, as you can see. There's the bleach. Health, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. You can eat it if you want to. Ain't no stopping you. Let's eat one of these protein rations. Also gonna start tapping into some water. So some of the protein rations are cold. Before, when the game was a little bit messed up, and it could be because we have the no freeze mod on too, these would be frozen. We have to warm them up out of fire in order to eat them. Okay, so you can now see that my thirst is slaked. Hunger, we're not hungry anymore, but we're not full yet either. But since we're overweight, I'm gonna try to not eat all the time. Okay, let's go ahead and make this patchwork stuff. Let's make sure we're warm. We do seem to be much more warm now. Our mouth is actually cold. Let's see what we can do for our mouth before we start crafting. The thing is, like I said, you'll start getting messages about you're going to get frostbite if you stay cold. So we want to we want to handle the warmth problems as quickly as we can before we spend like 8 hours making a piece of gear. Because for some reason it takes 8 hours to make a piece of gear now. Okay. So there is no mouth section. It's just underneath head. French made hat, yeah. Looks like the best we can do, though. Actually, yeah, we have patchwork scarves and stuff. I think the long one you can actually put your hands in. Yeah. So we could possibly do this instead of the jacket because it is less encumbrance. The simple one isn't as big, but it doesn't require as much thread or anything. Both take an hour, though. I'm gonna make the long one. Here we go. I think we can also activate it and pull it tight to get extra warmth out of it. Activates. Oh, actually, we can only loosen it, so that's the best that's gonna do. Now, before I get rid of the jacket, because it's covering our head right now, we're gonna go back to armor. And go to head. And the cotton hat is actually fairly warm. It has 20 warmth. We're gonna go ahead and craft it. And obviously, we're not really crafting this for armor. This is all like very squishy stuff. Cotton hat. It's kind of like a beanie or something. There we go. But now I don't need this jacket, which is just gonna add encumbrance. There is reasons to wear the jacket. Like we can go look at it. Oops, not here. In our inventory, we can go look at it. Where's the storage? They moved the storage on me. Oh, it's down here now. Capacity. You can see it has a 7 liter or 0.7 liter pocket and 2.3 liter pockets. So it's some extra carrying capacity for us. It's more protective than some of the other stuff was. The encumbrance, though, 13, I don't think is great. Yeah, I don't think we're going to wear it unless it ends up that we need it. Then we can always put it back on later. But I don't think that much encumbrance is worth it right now. Okay, now our character is nice and warm. By the way, these count as a work surface, so that's why our character isn't asking, like, where should I put something down to work on it. But we're out of time for this video. So in this one, we covered a lot of the basics here of like finding some of our basic tools, putting on some basic stuff just to get our character warm enough that they're not going to freeze to death right off the bat. Because again, I like to think of it as it's nuclear winter, because it's probably colder than it needs to be. It's less cold than it was though, so maybe now it's not nuclear winter. Like I said, it used to start you in a winter coat in spring. So yeah. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, remember hit the like button, keep the conversation going in the comments, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Until next time, hope you have a good day.